How's it going, everybody? Mike here. I want to take a few minutes to talk about Etsy. I want to talk about Etsy in general. Every once in a while, I get questions from you guys about, what is it like to sell on Etsy? What's my experience been like? Is it actually worth your time? What are the types of problems or things that you run into that would be considered negative? And I want to talk about some of that over the next couple of minutes, and also try to answer as many questions as I can that like I said, I get from time to time. The reason that I get these questions is in the descriptions in all my videos, I have a reference link to invite other sellers to sell on Etsy, and it's so this is what it looks like from my account, but I guess it would take you to this place. So basically, the questions that I get are from people that are just starting out, and usually they get to this page through my link, and they start asking questions. So for example, what is this? So it says open an Etsy shop and list your first 40 items for free. So the reason that Etsy does this, of course, is because somebody like me will post a link somewhere online, and it basically says if you open a shop, you get 40 listings for free, both of us. So I get them for, kind of promoting Etsy in general, and then you get them for starting out. But what does Etsy get out of it is, if you actually like it, chances are you're going to be listing a lot more than 40 items. Multiply that by a couple of years, and they're doing pretty well. So let's just to kind of give you a background of my experience with Etsy. And so here it is. So I have about 1,100 sales. I've been on Etsy for, I would say, actively for about 2.5 years. So I'm doing anywhere from I would say $7,000 to $10,000 in sales a year. Just for the purposes of what I'm talking about, this is what I'm looking at. I'll come back to this later. So I've been on Etsy for a couple of years, done over 1,000 sales, and I've run into a lot of things with Etsy. Really, really good things, some negative things, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So overall, is Etsy worth it? Is it profitable? Absolutely, especially if you're going through Printful like I am. And I did a video a couple of days ago where I basically said that at this point, Etsy is completely automated for me. So I don't actually do anything with Etsy, and the store runs itself, and the payments are processed on their own. So basically everything is done through Printful, and it's pretty amazing. But here's the thing. Especially if you're thinking print on demand through Printful, it is extremely competitive. Any shirt or any item, mug, poster, doesn't matter what it is, that you're thinking about listing. And if you think, for example, that merch by Amazon is pretty crowded, there's so many copycats, you can expect exactly the same thing on Etsy, except the marketplace is a lot smaller. So anybody, I guess, who's selling on merch, for example, or Redbubble, Teespring, Spreadshirt, Society6, the chances are that they're on Etsy as well. And again, the chances are that you're going to have similar, if not exactly the same designs. So the competition is just out of this world. So expect that. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, the reason that I had this here is because it goes back to my rating. So until I would say probably 6 months ago, I was at 5 stars, and I usually get maybe 1 or 2, 3 orders a day, but once in a while I'll get a bunch. And so what started happening in about April, May, June is Printful was, because of COVID, due to COVID, they extended their shipping and delivery timelines to sometimes over a month. So a bunch of my customers, and as you can see, for example, I'll process sometimes 5, 6, 7 orders a day, and these days they're rare, but it does happen. And it was all around the same time that COVID hit, and the USPS was, like I said, and Printful were taking over a month to deliver items, and I got a bunch of negative reviews, and I think it was something like 3 or 4, and that brought my rating down, and I was so proud of actually having a 5-star review store, because it does make a huge difference. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because that's one of the negative things. So for example, if we're talking about merch by Amazon, and if you have multiple brands, if you get a bunch of negative feedback or reviews from customers, it really won't matter, because it will affect that one product. But with Etsy, it's your whole store. So for example, even though this is half a star, it really does affect the way that people view your store. And for example, in my case, I actually haven't noticed a difference in sales when it comes to the numbers of orders, but the types of questions that I get from customers is about shipping and all that kind of stuff. Because for example, the descriptions that in those negative reviews the customers have left are all about shipping time, which completely is understandable. For example, if I order something online and it takes a month to arrive, if you're expecting it in 3 to 5 business days, it's a big huge difference. And people didn't actually understand or even care about COVID, because they paid for their items and they wanted them. So these are the types of things that you're going to have to deal with, in addition to customer service, that you don't see on other print-on-demand websites. So that's one of the things. It's extremely worth it. It's profitable. It's easy. But you have to deal with certain things that you don't with your typical print-on-demand, like Merch by Amazon or Redbubble, like just a random one where, for example, you collect your royalties. So that's one thing to think about. And, there are days where, I get certain questions, or for example, a customer will request a refund even though I've sent out the item. And you really have no choice, because if you don't deal with those types of things, you will get a negative review. I'm sure, if a customer opens a case or something through Etsy that goes against your store standing. So those are the things that I don't want to be affected. So for example, if a customer does request a refund and I've already shipped the item, I always suck it up. I'm always kind of thinking, what, I'm going to lose double the money here, but at least the feedback and everything, for example, I won't get any negative ones. So those are the types of things you're going to be dealing with when it comes to Etsy. I wanted to just, this is from a random website, just to show you guys, for example, the power of Etsy and what's been happening. So the merchandise sales, and this is last year, so this was written in 2020. So basically, this would have been in talking about 2019. It's total almost $5 billion. So it's a huge marketplace, and it's growing. Last year, I think they actually started showing ads on TV, and if you can actually believe it, Etsy is kind of in their early stages of growth. So this is the revenue stats. There was something else that I wanted to flash. This is basically some of the information about sellers. Etsy had over 2.5 million sellers at the end of 2019, and then basically that has increased. And then it's saying that, pretty much Etsy sellers are all over the world, but again, 62% of Etsy sellers are based in the US. So basically, that is the main marketplace. But I get a lot of orders from Europe, Australia, so it is expanding. Anyways, in summary, I would say Etsy is unique in a way that it is easy, it is profitable, but again, it is a very customer-based marketplace where you have to deal with the customers. So, for example, with Merch by Amazon, their whole brand is that they're customer-oriented and they're going to do everything for the customer, which they do, but they deal with those things. Here, you're going to have to deal with that. And trust me, customers are sometimes very, very hard to deal with. Anyways, I kind of think that'll be it. Definitely worth it. Definitely you're going to get some headaches once in a while, but you really can't replace Etsy. It is definitely, the top 3 or 4 of all the marketplaces, especially when it comes to the products that I sell, and I'm assuming a majority of the viewers that are watching this are actually selling, and especially if you're going through one of the print-on-demand companies like Printful, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyways, if you decide to do it, if you're new, good luck with everything, and don't hesitate to ask any questions. I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching, guys.